Hello, my name is Manny, and my friend Steve here says he has a logical argument on why women should be forced to have babies if they want an abortion, and why the government should be defied to save unborn babies. But first, let me get your response on the usual pro-choice arguments.
Alright, where would you like to start?
Let's start out with something simple, such as what the parents or the mother are not prepared for a child or unable to sufficiently provide for the child.
If the mother can't provide for the child, the thought of killing it instead of giving it up for adoption implies only children born into money should have the right to live. And also, why kill something that has the potential to be cared for by someone else, if it's only you that can't provide for it?
Point. What if they want to prevent the child from having a horrible life in a horrible world as we see today?
To kill a baby in this situation means you decided the quality of their human life was too poor to merit living before they themselves could even be born to decide if they liked their life enough to kill themselves or not. Look at the ones in a position of deciding for another's life. Are they still alive, not having killed themselves? Which is a hypocrisy, because obviously they've been able to form their own individual reasons to live in this horrible, horrible world.
All this does assume that fetuses are actually human before they're born. Are they really?
When it's put into question, are babies human while in the womb? It's best not to risk killing an innocent human being. It's better to provide them with all human rights protections, at least until we have the answer to that important question. You should not allow life obstruction procedures to occur without an answer to that question, because you are then putting at risk a human life based on your own uncertainty, and it's not a small risk. It's literally a life or death situation.
All right. But isn't a fetus just a clump of cells? How can you consider something like that human?
They ask, at what point is a fetus a human being? But these experiences, states, and phases thereafter are all part of being human that everyone goes through. When labeled a cluster of cells, this invalidates their life and dehumanizes them and their potential futures. When groups of people are dehumanized, there is conceptually deemed more license to disregard, contain, and restrain or cause harm to them, as presented through our global history of slavery, murder, and genocides. When it comes to unborn babies, the supporters of their death place fetuses in an unloved category of people, giving women the idea that these human beings are nothing more than their property or an accessory for the reason that they are growing inside their bodies, and that they have the option to take its life if deemed as a burden or unuseful, like this past century slaves and Jews.
What if it yet doesn't have a heartbeat? How can you call something like that alive?
If you properly consider a life's beginning to be at conception, some people are given the opportunity to develop a heartbeat and some aren't. But in most cases, the life you are eliminating would, if given time after conception, develop a heartbeat. And it is clear to think that one should allow this life to develop, because it is an inequality and injustice to eliminate a human life that has not even had the chance to develop a heartbeat.
What about the rare and extreme cases of rape and incest? How can you let the mother and the child...
The circumstances surrounding the nature of their conception don't change the fact that they are a unique and special human being, innocent of any wrongdoing, and should have the same right to live as anyone else.
Fair enough. But ultimately, it's the woman's body, so it should be her choice in the end, right?
Consider this. It was once legal to own slaves. Some did and some didn't, but its legality never made it morally just. Imagine it as someone saying it's bad to own slaves, but you can if you want to. It's your choice. You have to be born in order to have a choice. So if her mother was to abort her, she wouldn't have her own body to make a choice in the first place. The child's body is already proven to be an entirely unique genetic makeup and separate from her. And choosing to kill that unique genetic DNA would be killing a human being at the earliest point of development. Abortion is murder to a defenseless human being. This legal loophole is incredibly illogical and morally reprehensible.
I agree, but I'd put it in a different way. What do you think should be done about the current state of abortion in the clinics and stuff?
I think a large group of people should amass and destroy any buildings that perform abortion, and overwhelm any police that stand in their way and grab their wrists and ankles like an exorcism and carry them off until the buildings are destroyed. No need to shoot police, but if they get in the way of saving the lives of these babies with lethal force, then mitigate that risk, because the life of a defenseless baby is worth defending, and those babies haven't had the chance of life, while these cops have been allowed their life. and are now defending an establishment that takes the lives of those babies. So it is logical that we take theirs if they use lethal force. Most likely this situation would not get this dire and violent interference, wouldn't be necessary. So is it too much to ask for an amassment of enlightened minds? Am I crazy for thinking this is the right thing to do? If Black Lives Matter destroyed buildings without interference over grown men, why would they interfere in the protest against killing innocent unborn babies?
All right. With all that discussed, what do you believe to be a logical argument to justify forcing a woman who wants to have abortion to have a baby, and or defying the government to save these unborn babies?
What I want to say about that is, am I crazy for thinking that telling a woman is not enough when it comes to abortion, but making sure she didn't have the choice to kill the baby is the right thing because it's a human baby being killed? Am I crazy for thinking defying a government over abortion is the correct action if that government kills human babies by legally allowing abortion and enforcing the right to have one? My logical argument is that a human baby is being killed, so they must be stopped on behalf of the defenseless baby.
Steve, is there anything else you'd like to say with all the things you said?
Yes, am I crazy or is the world backwards from what it's supposed to be like? I look at how these religious people who call themselves good people or on the side of good by their association with their God, but they do nothing to save those babies. Do their gods tell their followers to be interested in saving those babies or something else? Are those people and their gods fake good guys? And these good guys activists that want to put their heroic energy in other things besides saving the babies, like animals or the environment, or Black Lives Matters, valuing the lives of grown black men over babies. Imagine this world like a sinking ship with all its problems, and a captain puts a bunch of black men in the lifeboats instead of pregnant women and children. Somewhere babies are being killed, and the heroes they need are off saving something less important than saving a helpless baby. Imagine Superman seeing a baby fall out the window on his way to stop a bank, and the bank robber decides to fly by and not save the baby instead of what a real hero would do. And that's how these fake heroes are. Or am I crazy in my perception of them?
Well, let's ask the viewers whether or not you're crazy for your views by putting it to an online vote. I would recommend, before taking extreme action, that we should petition the government to place a halt on all abortion until that important question, are babies human beings with rights, is solved. All logical arguments that are for or against abortion that weren't discussed are welcome in the comments, so we can address them in further videos, as we will be doing anyway.
Can we add that if a petition is voted a better idea than a large group of people amassing and the government rejects it, is it then a good idea to amass and save the babies?
Hopefully it won't come to that, but sure. Let's begin with the things we're voting on in the comments. Like if you agree and dislike if you don't. Is his explanation for going further than telling a woman what to do with her body crazy or logical? Is it crazy for seeing everyone like cops, activists, pastors, politicians, etc. as fake heroes? Is it crazy for thinking everyone's God is not the God of good and the people on the team of those gods falsely advertising themselves as good, whether or not they're aware of it? Is he crazy for thinking the lives of innocent unborn babies are special enough to group up and destroy places of abortion? Should we group up to save these babies if the petitions don't work? Is it true that every single one of those babies would say I love you to someone if they had a chance to have their life and they were taken care of and not aborted? Do all humans deserve protection from murder based on the idea that we are all alive with human rights, whether or not we have our first heartbeat or not? And I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks for having me on.
For your view. I would like to share my view in our next video. And please share this with everyone you can, because this is a very important. The sooner we get the word out, the sooner we can save the lives of these children. And that is the thing. We are trying to prevent abortion from happening and saving our fellow human lives. Thank you for watching, and be blessed, stay blessed, and you all.